Mary.
Donna. Can you call the roll, please?
Lays.
Aye.
Lee. Owen. Aye. Heller. Childers.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
McGrath.
Aye. First up is personnel action, items 16A through D. And the appendix, is there an appendix? Appendix. And through E, 16A through E. Is there a
So
motion?
moved.
Sullivan, Heller. Questions, comments?
You said through E?
Through
Yes,
E.
there's
E is appendix.
an appendix,
Oh, yes, that's right.
We just put it,
I remember that,
leave of absence.
yes.
Any other questions? Jenny, call the roll, please.
Childers.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Lays.
Aye.
Owen.
Aye.
Heller. Sullivan.
Aye.
McGrath.
Aye. Item 17, closed session minutes. Is there a motion that the Board of Education confirm with respect to confidentiality of the board's closed session minutes, that those items listed on attachment A are no longer require confidential treatment and are to be made available for public inspection after adoption of this motion?
Can I make the motion separately, just so it's not confusion?
Okay.
I'll move 17A.
Okay.
Second.
Okay.
Any questions, comments?
I'm still have confusion, why do we have to discriminatively select that this particular to be strike it out, and some of them are not, and I have no idea what is,
Stripping? Well, what we struck out of those that are being released would be personal information such as the employee's name or the student's name, because it's not relevant to the public information as to what action the board took. And so while the board knew who it was we were taking the action over, at that point in time, in order for us to be able to release the minutes and honor the Open Meetings Act, it's not necessary that we released that this was the person who we took that action about. So that's what's been redacted.
Or in the case of a minor student, we have to
but
redact.
how do we clearly know that beside this, specifically this particular date, the minutes, there might be additional more or something that is not related?
Well,
They're here, they're here.
What you
attached.
do know is at the point in time that the board approved the minutes, which would have occurred usually in the month immediately following the minutes occurring, they approved the minutes in that format. And that when we redacted names or identifying information, social security numbers from the minutes, it was done on the recommendations of the attorney so that we could release it. But the content of the minutes itself has already been approved by the board, so we're not approving the minutes. What we're approving is just the release of the minutes.
To let them be open now, that they are now available.
So you all feel comfortable with this?
Right, we're not approving the subject matter, we're just approving the release.
Any other questions or comments about 17A? If not, Jenny, please call the motion. Take the roll.
Lays.
Aye.
Owen.
Aye.
Heller. Sullivan.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Childers.
Aye.
McGrath.
Aye. Item 17B, that there's a need for confidentiality with respect to all or part of the minutes listed on attachment B.
So moved.
We also have to see it.
Second.
No,
No,
I did
it's
not.
not. Okay. Questions, comments?
I'll make C and D separately. No questions or comments on D.
Okay. Okay, any more? Call
So
the roll.
Jen, just to make it clear, what we're saying is these need to remain confidential at this point in time.
Yeah, those ones that the second is, right here.
Well, when did they make a decision, or who looked at?
Every 6 months, we as a board look at it and we'll take a vote on it. If we find that the minutes can be released, we'll make a recommendation to do that.
One vote.
Any other comments? Okay, Judy, call the roll.
Lays.
Aye.
Heller. Childers. Owen. Lee.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
McGrath.
Aye. Motion with respect to 17C.
That the attachments A and B be filed with the official minutes of August 5th, 2013 board meeting, and a specific closed session verbatim recordings as found in attachment C be destroyed in accordance with the law.
So moved, and Donna, second. Any,
Can I just understand this? Attachment B is the ones that we're keeping closed, is that right?
Yes,
And it's just the list that is going to be attached to the
To
official
these
minutes.
minutes, correct. This list that we just approved
Just the list.
becomes attached to these minutes.
Right. In our little we actually had,
You have.
we had
you
the
have-
actual, minutes.
Correct.
Those are not part of the attachment. They can't be because then they become.
Right, you would then refer to them.
That's right.
When you look at the list, you could then go back and pull them
Right, right,
out of the files.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear on that.
And those minutes, it's how long after?
18 months after the approval of the written minutes is released to the public,
Okay.
and verbatim recordings can be destroyed.
These were February 4th, 2013.
So they cannot be destroyed until we've passed 18 months.
No, I thought the list was,
So attachment C is what we're going to destroy here.
yeah,
And they-
the most recent is January of 12.
But they
Those
were,
were approved at the February 4th meeting, not for destruction, but the minutes were approved to be released.
so 18 months after the release, or?
We'll have to check with Todd, but that's why I put it in accordance with the law. Whether
Okay.
it's 18 months, whether it's 18 months
Yeah, do it in
from,
accordance with the law, 'cause I don't think it's 18 months.
It's 18 months, I think, after.
There is an
it's
18
18
months.
months, but is it 18 months after the meeting or 18 months after it's
the
released?
minutes. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's 18 months after the meeting,
And
I
that's
think
what
is what
I
it
would
is.
agree with that.
Yeah.
We'll verify with Todd.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I think once you release them, you can destroy them, we'll check that.
okay, so with the motion as stated, the board, in the agenda with the addition of in accordance with the law.
Correct.
That's the motion before us right now. Any questions or, any other questions or comments? You take the roll on that one, please.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Peller. Owen.
Aye.
Lays.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Childers. McGrath.
Aye. Okay, next up is approval of closed session minutes from July 8th, 2013.
So motion.
Childers,
Second?
Owen. I think there was a suggestion earlier of an edit to those.
To change support to sustain.
Sustain. Any comments, questions? Okay, if not, please call the roll.
Peller.
Aye.
Lays.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Owen.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Abstain.
Childers. McGrath.
Aye. Okay. Item 19A.
I'd like to move that the Board of Education adopt a resolution ordering the dismissal for cause of Jan Curley as a tenured teacher in Main Township High School District 207.
Sullivan, Keller. Any questions, comments? Okay, please call the roll.
Owen.
Aye.
Peller.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Lays.
Aye.
Childers.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
McGrath.
Aye. Item 19B,
That I make a motion that the Board of Education approve the superintendent's compensation for the 2013-2014 school year to include a 3% increase over the base awarded in the 2012-2013.
Sullivan, Feller. Questions, comments?
Question, so what was the administrative increases for previous years, for past 3 years?
Ken, the superintendent's increase for the past,
With the administration, teachers, administrators,
well, that's,
It's two different things, teachers or administrators.
teachers.
They
Well,
had a long contract.
Yeah.
Administrators don't, maybe.
well, administrative then, yes.
0, 1, and 2.
and this year's,
It was 2. Just finished.
right. Any other questions? I'll call the question. There's no other questions. I don't think there's any other debates. We won't take a vote on that if you'll.
Owen.
Aye.
Peller.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Childers. Lays.
Aye.
McGrath.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
So yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night, all.
Thank you.